18. BBC. I don't know why this always defaults to off.
Because they don't want to have to give you an.
I think we're live already. Of course we're live.
How are you, Barry? You looking for a slap?
Sorry we're late, people. I nearly had a heart attack.
You had a bit of a blonde moment, didn't you?
Yeah, I have 3 YouTube accounts, and I was on the other one. So when I clicked on go live, it said new live is set up differently, so it'll take 24 hours before you can go live. And then I copped I was on the old account, so I was like,
silly bagger.
when I listen to it like this, it sounds like when I listen. Hear that?
So were you generally here between your
Now,
ears?
are you focusing? What are you doing? You were very distracted last week, and you left me ranting. You let me go off on a full-scale J rant.
You're right.
Hello.
Terrible wife.
Ginger Barry, Mr. Ford, Lord Owen, Ginger Barry again, Rory Tyne. Close that window. And Aaron, good evening. And look, I apologise for last week. I know I totally went off on a mad rant. You can blame Vanessa, I know I am. And that's what happens. That's what it was like all the time, wasn't it? I used to go on.
You're in your space.
I used to go on full on rants, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I've managed to curb that, but from time to time I do forget and slip into.
Sort your hair out, will you? Your bangs are hanging down.
Very handsome, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very handsome. Very handsome in this light. Very man from the mountains. You know what I mean? You're a lucky woman. Lucky woman. Are we in focus? Are we in focus? Don't move. Don't move. Yeah, pretty sharp. That'll do. Good enough. They're looking at me anyway. So, apologies not necessary. Decliners. Very good. You don't get that, do you? There were these guys living on the moon. And anyway, you wouldn't get it. It's the age gap. So it's back when there was nothing on the telly. Yeah, no, thank you, Lord. That's very good of you. But I did certainly go on. And not only that, the topic probably wasn't, very friendly either. Wasn't very nice. Will you stop picking at me? Slagging off the cops, which is obviously dangerous territory. The boys in blue, the tin blue line for Bolton. Don't get me started. So it's kind of dark in here. What way have we set the lights up? Very intimate. Very intimate. So, a couple of things to talk about this week. Well, it's Vanessa's podcast. What do you want to talk about?
Shut up and just stop even pretending.
Van update. I'll give you a van update. Anyone who saw the image that I put up on the channel, the community thing, I go through phases of putting stuff onto that community thing. Aaron's very good. He's an inspiration of putting stuff up on the community thing. And when I see Aaron's stuff, putting up stuff, and I go, I need to use that. And I did forget. I put up a picture. So
will you just get on with it?
It's called a preamble, Vanessa.
It's called a ramble.
It's called a preamble. It's what makes my stories extra special.
Extra long.
So I went out to the van on Saturday. Now, keeping in mind, we'd got the blind fixed, the canopy, the roof fixed. We've got the seats cleaned and scotch guarded, and we'd got the pump in the pump in the sink thing fixed, and they fixed the thing in the engine, and the list goes on
and they fixed
and
and they
on
fixed and they fixed
and
and
on,
they fixed. There's
a bit
16
like me.
of the fixes.
And so what happened was, I was out. I took her for a spin because she's sitting so much. I had to take her for a spin at least every other week, and I went down to get a bit of fuel. Stop knocking off that. Stop it. And I went down to get a bit of fuel, and then I I opened up the lid of the sink and I noticed the spout was hanging off, and I touched it and it fell into the bowl. So I have to say, at this stage now, like, I used to get so angry when something went wrong in the van, didn't I? Like, I'd go completely postal, I would. And now I just sat back and laughed, and I thought of poor old Vanessa, because I thought another issue where you're going to have to get onto VW and have a complaint. So I tried pushing it back on. There's little grooves, right? And it looked like I thought, oh, you screw it on. But then I was looking at it, I was going, oh no, it's like a hose connection, and there's a little rubber O-ring. And I thought, but no matter how much I was pushing, I couldn't get it to click back on. And what I was afraid of was damaging it more than it was. So then I brought it home and I posted an image. And then the next overnight, as is so often the case, my mind said, oh, do you know what you need to do? First of all, it was kind of tackling why it had fallen off. And I think what happened was the metal tap piece, the tap piece is metal, but the connection is plastic. And I'm assuming on some level, between the heating up and cooling down over years of the van, that the little tap piece had just basically worked itself loose. So what I did wasn't the first thing in the morning. Was it Saturday morning? Was it? Sunday morning, probably what time? 7 o'clock in the morning. I got up, I went out, I got the sink piece and I put it into a cup of hot boiling water out of the kettle, the end piece that goes, the tap. No, out of the kettle. I got it out of the kettle, I boiled it.
It's called the tap.
The tap. And then I went out to the van and I felt the little plastic piece was cold because it was freezing cold here. And I pushed it and it clicked back on because I'd expanded the metal. Obviously the plastic had contracted overnight and she popped back on. Vanessa had emailed VW and they got back to say to drop it over, that it's probably only a matter of pushing it back on. But it's another issue to add to the long list of
16 issues, I think that is now.
Another, I couldn't believe it. When I saw it. I went, oh my God, what's next? So I live in fear of the two big things to go now are the fridge and the cooker.
Well, the van will go then.
Yeah, I'm living in fear now, I have to say, because I am really starting to think. Now, the commentary from people seems to be that people seem to be as surprised as I am. And so I have a feeling that we may have a lemon.
We definitely got a Monday morning van.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we have a lemon. So that's the thing. So there you go. So that's the van update.
David, we are not buying the new one. And that's all there is.
Definitely not now. Definitely not now. You reading those, are you?
Yeah.
Evening, folks. I got that. And the clangers. Okay. V is too young for clangers. Can't see the community on iPad. Oh. That's weird. You bought a bungee. No bungee yet. I don't think you can. I can't seem to get them here. I'd have to send. And sure, anything coming through. Like, there's things I want to get from Amazon until the Amazon Ireland opens up. And there's no way, because getting anything from Brexit now, not Brexit, getting anything because of Brexit now is very awkward. Very difficult. So indeed. I'm not going to bother ordering anything from the UK just yet. I'll let it all calm down. Because as the company I work for, we get a lot of stuff in from the UK and we are having severe problems with a lot of stock coming in.
Having problems and everything.
And then I think because there's so much manufacturing done in the UK, I think companies are having trouble getting stuff into the UK to manufacture it. So
it's teed and error. You'll just have to.
Yeah, look, it's a great. Brexit was a great idea, and fair Baltius. So 51% of you wanted it, and the other 49, well, it's just tough titty.
I don't think you can say that on YouTube.
I can say whatever I want on my YouTube channel. I can. Look, I can say this. I'm joking. Just what?
Get the new van. Grumpy.
Oh. So you get the new one. Yeah, good man. So I missed the chat last week, but I also for some reason find myself watching the Audit Police. Oh, controversial. As if now how the audit they need the recording devices taken off them and slapped. I think it's just one guy. And the ATA in America is audit. It obviously came back to me afterwards. But anyway, yeah, I was watching. YouTube was tempting me with a few more, but I was trying not to watch them because I just got down a complete rabbit hole. You need to get a motorhome now. The family is growing. No. You see, Ireland is too restrictive for something like that. That's okay if you go to campsites, but if you wild camp, motorhomes are a nightmare, you know.
Don't ask about the guarantee, Laura.
How long is the guarantee in the van? No, 3 years parts and warranty, wasn't it? And they did try to sell me the extended warranty. And I went to them in the same way we didn't get to see Scotch Guard and stuff like that. I said, no. I said, don't be ridiculous. We have paid a huge amount of money for that van. And I thought they were just trying to rip me off. You know the way when you go into Argos and they kind of go, do you want the extended warranty with that? I don't know whether English, but you know that, and you go, no, stop. But they were trying to sell me the extended warranty in VW, and I said, no, don't be ridiculous. 3 years, what could go wrong in 3 years? Yeah. 5 years later. Now the only thing I'd say is 35,000 kilometers for me, right, in my own work car is less than 35 weeks driving, right? So I would do probably between 1,000 and 1,500 kilometers a week driving around. So the van on some level is still, like, it's 5 years old and we only changed the first set of tires. So it's aging. The use of it is very low in comparison to its age. So the faults are showing up at a much slower pace. So I think that's the only saving grace with VW in that. Because the issues are showing up, they can check the mileage and they can say, look, this van is hardly used because it's fallen apart.
They're afraid the wheels will come off.
Yeah, and it's anyway, don't care. So Amazon DE is very good. Yeah, there's Amazon Ireland coming as well, that aren't, so that should be good. Yeah, I was tempted to use Amazon Germany. Yeah, I was thinking of using that because I just don't trust things coming out of the UK at the moment. Been planning a trip and following plenty doing an Ireland motorhome, and it looks easier than you say. I also try to. Yeah.
If we wild camp, we don't park in ours. So if you are wild camping, I think
it's Ayers.
Ayers.
I was saying Ayers all the time, but I think it's Ayers.
All right. Anyway, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. If you park in those Ayers or Ayers, yeah, you probably will be all right. But if you're just parking the way we would wild camp at the side of a beach or something like that, if you're trying to get into a car park, no, you absolutely can't bring a motorhome into it, because 90% of the time there is a height restriction of 2 meters. And a motorhome is probably
it only has to be meters? No, it only has to be 2, but no, they're not 3 meters tall. It only has to be 2.1. Well, they could be, some of them actually. Yeah, it only has to be 2.1 meters and you're in trouble.
Yeah. So I'd investigate a little bit more, David, if I was you, to be honest with you.
Fair the way V says it, lol. Fair what? The way she says no, was it?
No.
Is this your boyfriend, is it again?
Yeah.
David Morrison. But anyway, so we won't change it now anyway. And it's just, the van is, the benefit of it is it's so much more compact and small. And again, the dream is to see, this is one of the ways I want to use it, right? I was watching a lot of stuff on TG Cahar, and your man John Creedon is doing traveling around Ireland. It's very interesting at the moment. But my view, one of the things I want to do one of these evenings is pull into a pub somewhere, in some kind of small town, and go in and have a couple of pints, and then go walk straight outside and get into the van and sleep overnight. And so, or if the van is on the kind of main street and it just looks somewhat inconspicuous, as opposed to having a motorhome parked outside.
We have done that previously.
We have done that, yeah. We've had a couple of sneaky, and do that, and then stay in the pub till all hours, and then come back outside and have the van. So that, again, you want something compact, but then getting up and down to that harbour, and the one opposite the Blaskets, was it, or it was?
Yeah, we definitely get into places that you wouldn't
with the small van, and because it has 200 horsepower and 4-wheel drive, it's a bit more and smaller. It's just easier to get around, So that's our view. But I don't think we'll. Have you seen Britstop book? It has all the pubs that allow that. Oh right, okay, no, I haven't seen that. There are some pubs here in Ireland that allow you to stay over in the car park overnight as well.
Is there?
There are, yeah. There's an app park for a night or something like that. It's quite good. I'd recommend it. So that's the van. That's the van out of the way. Yet another update. I have a feeling it's not the last.
No, I don't think so either.
The only good news is we're not paying for it anymore. But the money that I was putting aside for modifications to the van is now going to go on your baby. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you want to give an update on the baby? We went in for the scan.
You give an update. I'll just say we went in for a scan.
I talked non-stop last week. Come on.
We went in for our 22-week scan or a 20-week scan. It's called your anatomy scan. On Tuesday, was it Tuesday?
Tuesday.
And yeah, everything was very good.
You have to talk like.
You don't have to talk like that.
You have to talk like this for David.
You don't.
Oh, David.
I don't talk like that.
I love you, David. Say that. Say I love you, David.
I love you, David.
No, I have to say it properly. I love you, David. I love you. I do love you, David.
Do you want me to talk about the scan, or do you want to be a douche?
Go on.
Anyway. So yeah, everything looks well. We were quite a while in there, weren't we? And
yes, a bit too long. It's making me nervous.
Well,
Because she was so focused on, but it was great, but...
It was great how thorough she was.
It's mind-blowing though.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
To see the little heart and the little brain and all the little bones.
Yeah.
And, like, they're so tiny.
Yeah. Like the detail. You'd wonder what people did before, it's a complete mystery, but...
They listened with the stethoscopes. That's all they did.
I know, but like to see the visualization of it and stuff like that as well, because what she does is she counts, like you could see the soles of his feet. Well, you could see one of his feet. He did have 2 feet, didn't he?
He did have 2 feet.
So then she was like, there's his kidneys. Oh, and look at his bladder, it's not that full. And then she was checking for his heartbeat, and then he was moving, and she was, she was going on about his eyes and his profile, and checking for a cleft palate, a cleft lip, and it's one of these things. You're sitting there kind of holding your breath because you're kind of going, oh God, don't find anything. But at the same time, it's just mind-blowingly fascinating to watch. I'd rather it was someone else's child, and then I'd be able to fully immerse myself in not being worried about it. But yeah, we got a full bill of health. Was a clean bill of health, and so so things are going tickety boo halfway through. It rhymes. So far, so good. So good job. You're doing a good job, Vic.
We're over halfway through now.
You're doing a good job. Good job. Good job. And growing the bump. And then she said this thing, like, because it was weird to hear someone referring to him in the third person, kind of like baby. Oh, and baby's this, and and then she was going, oh no, baby, don't move, and
he kept moving.
Yeah, he kept moving all over the place. And whereas I think Christian, when we went in, he didn't move as much, did he? This guy seems to be.
Christian was very active.
Was he?
But he was also, I think, a bit bigger.
Oh, bigger at that? That's that stage.
My bump was bigger at that stage.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Doesn't mean anything though.
No.
Doesn't mean he's 1 pound exactly. 1 pound. Mad though. It's just mad, So here. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, it was amazing, Laura. Absolutely amazing, and yeah. So, like, all going well, please God, in 20-something weeks from now, the baby will be here with us. Which would be amazing.
We're due in 18 weeks. So.
Yeah. So he's breached though, isn't he? So he could be coming out the sunroof. Like the other lad. But no, it is. It's absolutely amazing. I was sitting there stunned and just watching it, wasn't it? It's just completely engrossing. It's just the most amazing thing. So that's the thing. What's it? I'm staying in the camper with my girl. I refer people to Ginger's comment. That's excellent.
Ginger Barry.
What did I say?
Ginger.
What Ginger Barry?
I think his name is Barry. I don't think his name is Ginger.
Well,
he is a ginger and his name is Barry.
Ginger Barry. It's supposed to just be Barry.
Yeah.
Well, it gives him character. It's all about character.
I know.
It's all about character.
I know.
So he has plenty of time to turn. Yeah. Well, they tried turning Christian from the outside, but we didn't like it, did we?
No, it was horrific.
And it was like, no. So we wouldn't recommend that you do that. It wasn't, You're too nervous as well. Anyway, you're kind of going, oh no, stop.
Well, they can put you into labour by doing it.
Yeah, and it was quite painful, wasn't it for you?
Horrific.
Yeah, no. So if he's to come out the sunroof, he has to come out the sunroof.
Christian came out the sunroof. We know what's ahead of us, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Once he comes out healthy, that's all that matters.
GB, Gingerberry. GB. Great Britain. I can see his icon there, isn't it? Too small though to make out. Oh, GB. All right, call him GB. Got it. Sorry. So a bit slow in the uptake this evening.
Garibaldo.
So, did anyone see the Meghan Markle?
Oh, are we really going to talk about that? It's so controversial.
I have a theory. I have a theory. Do you want to hear the theory? Do you want to hear it?
Go on.
We have to talk about the really juicy stuff.
You want to hear the theory about what I think about what's going on?
Yeah.
It's controversial. It's controversial. Will I talk about it? Don't say no now. I'm building it up, and if you say no,
if you refer in any way to her mental health around, no.
No.
Grant.
No, I'm not going to say anything derogatory about anyone.
David said, "Please don't."
I'm not going to say anything derogatory.
Grant.
Well, you could probably perceive it as derogatory or weird. Okay, so I'm in the David Icke camp.
Who's David Icke?
Who's David Icke? Let's see if anyone knows who David Icke is. I'm in the David Icke camp.
Is he in the Piers Morgan camp?
No. Do you know who David Icke is?
David Icke.
Is that a song called David Icke? Okay. So David Icke, right, is a fascinating individual. He used to present, I think it was sport on the BBC or something like that a long time ago, right? So he is radio rental. Mental. So he has this. So what happened was he used to present on the I can't quite remember what it was. Right, slightly. I wouldn't be big into sport, so I kind of vaguely remember him.
Laura says it's Davis Icke.
David Icke. No, David Icke. So no, David Icke. So but Laura also says lol.
Lol.
So Davis Icke. Anyway, so he now. So he started to come up with these conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I have to be careful now what I'm saying here, but he did come up with these kind of theories about stuff. So people watching will understand what I'm talking about. But he has this thing that the world is run by people who are they're like lizards. They're green alien lizard people, and they wear masks and everything like that, right? And I think he says that the royal family and all that are. This is my theory, right? So this is what he thinks, that people in power, you know.
Well, I'm just glad you're recording it, because when I go to the mental institution and say to the judge, I need a divorce from this man, this is why.
Yeah. So then he has, you know, the way what's it called? It's gone out of my head there now. But the big get together with all the rich people. You put it on my head. Something it costs or something it's called, whatever. I can't think of the name, but anyway. So when people get there, he's the son of God. So this is what he has anyway. All the rich. So what he's saying is that the royal family, if you take away their skin underneath them, they're actually these kind of lizard people and blah blah blah. It's quite fascinating, really. Anyway, my theory is that this thing is a ruse, right? That what's happening is that what's his name? William? No. What's his name? Harry and what's her name again? Meghan. Harry and Meghan haven't really fallen out with the royal family. That what they're doing is they've sent them over as these alien lizard people to infiltrate America. And you see, so the thing is what they're doing, it's classic, right? It's a classic kind of, it's one of these classic things where they have sent them over. They pretended it's a ruse, right? They pretended to have a switcheroo, if you will. They've gone over and pretended to have a fight, and the Americans have embraced them. And really, what they're doing is they're bringing over their culture, and that's so because I think obviously they're kind of these kind of lizard people, you know. So that's my view. That's my view. What's going on? So the whole thing is just a big sham to kind of invade America with these lizard people that clearly the British royal family are apparently, according to David Icke, discuss.
I think you're wrong.
What do you think I'm wrong for?
Because none of us are lizards going around.
Everyone's
with
gone very
masks.
quiet. Look, they're all thinking. They're all like, what?
They were probably doing what I done and had to Google and see who.
Did you
your
look
man
up?
was.
Did you look up David Icke? Yeah.
The head in him, he looks like a lizard himself without his mask on.
Did you see what it said about him in the Wikipedia
No.
and everything? I'll have to look it up
Read
now
it.
because I'll be honest, I don't really know a whole lot about him, but I'm definitely going to research it now.
Uh,
So, but that's my theory. My theory is there's some kind of invasion going on of the States with these lizard people.
No, I don't. To be fair, I don't think the States need Meghan and Harry for there to be an invasion going on. I think they've enough going on there themselves.
Yeah, but it seems strange that they've gone over in this way and all. Do you not think it's all very suspicious? Very odd.
Why? She is American.
Yeah, but he's infected her or something like that. You know what I mean?
He's injected her with his juice.
No, he's converting her. Or what they've done is the real Meghan Markle is gone, and
Can the
she's
real
a
Meghan
clone.
Markle please
She's
stand up?
she's a clone because remember they can make the skin.
Oh,
They can make the skin,
yeah.
and so they can look like anyone. You know.
Mm.
So maybe actually the British royal family have been switched out or something like that. In
Maybe that's
reality,
what happened to you.
um,
The real.
no.
The real.
No,
Jason.
it's made up of billionaires and all the wealthy and famous people. Why would an alien or whatever they are live my life?
Mm.
Doesn't make sense for you. Come on, get real, will you?
Mm.
That's silly.
Mm.
That's just crazy. That is.
I know, it is crazy.
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's crazy. That's anyone saying. I haven't lost the plot. He was a football player also, yeah. Something invaded their brains. Have a jar. What's wrong? Is this just a bit threatening? Is that what it is? Because maybe I'm kind of,
No,
you
it's
know.
because it's absolutely batshit crazy.
Is it? Don't say shit on this. Can't say shit.
I'll say what I'm really
No, you
thinking.
can't say shit now. So am I wrong? Is it?
Yeah, you are wrong.
Oh, I
There's
thought
no
it
such
was.
thing as aliens,
I
as
thought-
you constantly say.
What? There's no such thing as aliens.
Mm.
No. What I've said is I don't think there's any aliens on Earth
Well, then there you go.
because the universe
That's
is just.
why your argument is flawed, because there's no aliens on Earth.
Well, they could be interdimensional
No.
beings or something like that. They could have been here before we were here. This is the whole thing. Because remember,
still on
the
Earth,
human
whether they
race.
were here before
no,
or
the human
during or
race is
after.
only like 6,000 years old. Anyway,
Again, it's still on Earth, whether they were here before, during, or after.
what do you mean? Huh?
You said they could have been here before us.
Why are you hogging the
Doesn't
mic?
matter whether
Why are
they
you
were
hogging the
before
mic?
us, because you
Why are
keep
you hogging
pushing
the
it
mic?
over to me.
Don't be hogging the mic. No, because the human race is only 6,000 years old, and fossil evidence proves that. And so,
Someone's after changing the name to David Icke and just saying you're completely right. Christian O'Neill, is that you?
yeah, Scientology. No, it's not as good as Scientology. But yeah. So what's your take on it? What's your take on it?
I think there was a family fallout. They aired their dirty laundry in public, and they ought to be mortified for themselves. That's what I think. Sinead.
That's kind of boring in comparison to mine
It is, yes.
and David Icke.
Yeah, it is very boring in comparison to yours. But do you know what? I think
Shame on
Less-
who? Shame on who?
Harry and Meghan.
What? You're
Yes.
against them?
Absolutely. For there's absolutely no
Careful now.
need.
Careful, because my conversation last week caused a load of people to unsub.
Did it?
Yeah.
No, but I just look. I'm not. What happened.
Yeah.
And I fully believe that probably conversations went on and mental health issues and stuff like that were there, and I fully believe that. But who needs to know that?
Who needs to know what?
The conversations that went
But they didn't.
on.
They were very careful to not give away names and everything.
It doesn't matter whether you name the person. They put the bullet out there on the loose.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you name a name. You put the story out there. It's only a matter of time
Well, it was
before the name
they were
comes
just
out.
defending themselves. They were
But
trying
they
to.
weren't.
They were trying to put their side of the
They
story.
put stuff out there that nobody knew
Wow.
anything about.
I was not. I was only half joking. Only half joking about the alien thing earlier. I can't believe that. I'm stunned that you're on that side of the argument.
I'm not on. I'm remaining neutral
You don't
on
sound
the
neutral.
argument,
You don't
but
sound neutral.
I do believe that if there's an issue, first of all, a lot of the stories were being repeated third hand, and as I've said to you in the past, if you're not in the room, you don't know the truth. you know?
Yeah.
So the stories were being repeated through somebody else.
Well, there's two sides to every story.
Three sides to every story.
Yeah, three, yeah.
But the stories were being repeated. Then they weren't naming names, but they were telling the scenario, so they were leaving it out there for the media to decide and to hound people.
They had to be careful because what they could say is libelous.
Well, then don't say anything at all.
No, but
the least said, the best mended.
But then they were, look, I have very little interest in the story, to be honest, right? But I think the thing is that they were pilloried in the press, and they were just trying to defend themselves.
Possibly. That being said, they were able to stay quiet when it was an argument with her father. She was able to remain quiet the entire time and never came out with an opinion or spoke about her father or anything like that. So why does it need to be now?
Well,
because they stand to make a fortune.
No, yeah, but I think the thing about it is, the point she's making is that what they're trying to imply is that the issues that they were having were racial, and obviously she doesn't have a racial argument with her father.
No, the issues that she had with the press were racial, nothing to do.
But that's the point they're making.
Nothing to do with the
but she's not picking an argument with her father. She's picking an argument with the press in England.
But she's picking it through the royal family. She's blaming them on not protecting her.
No, but the whole reason the press were attacking her is because she was a member of the royal family.
Yeah. But did she never, as an actress, she never ever received anything negative previous to that?
But she was effectively not a nobody, but the next best thing to nobody until she met Harry. So the press, like, if you think about Diana and the way she was hounded, you know, so poor old Diana was caught between a rock and a hard place. She had the press on the one side and then the royal family on the other. And obviously, I think the thing is what Meghan Markle is trying to say is she was in a similar position, and Harry came out in her defense. So I'm amazed at your response.
I do struggle to believe it's all that one-sided. I really, really do. I'm not saying I think they should absolutely have defended her.
No surprises here. David fully agrees with you. No surprises.
No,
David.
I do. And he says, not just because I fancy her. I'm assuming he's talking about Meghan.
I'll find out where you live, David. I'll find out where you live.
And bring the baby when it's not sleeping
look,
at night.
he can come as long as he changes nappies and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
No, all joking aside. No, look, and I fully believe, and I do believe that they should have defended her. I believe all of that. And if this was all going on, and if she asked for help and she was told no, shame on them. Absolutely shame on them. But
what?
When she asked for help because of her mental health was deteriorating, she apparently asked for help and they said no. I have a theory of that as well, that maybe the reason they said no was because they were thinking, if you go off somewhere for 6 months now, when you come back, it's going to be worse. That it's going to be like, oh look, she looks frail, she looks this, she looks that. So the press are going to hound her even more. So that could possibly be why that they said no. You just don't know. But I do firmly believe that any arguments that happen like that should remain between four walls.
Yeah, but you see, okay, but you are a very closed off private individual. You know, like when we were first together, it took you 6 months to tell me your second name. So I'm only joking. So after we were married. So no, but you're a very private, closed off person. You know, even the fact that you sit and do these.
This is their argument. They're saying that they are too, but they're not. If they're going on to Oprah Winfrey and talking about this stuff, they're not.
Not what?
They're not private, and they don't want their business to remain private because they're going on to national television and talking about it. Yeah,
but that's the life they. Well,
they can't have it on both sides.
No, look, no. So back up the truck there now. Back up the truck. So the whole point is what they're saying. If you listen carefully, you need to watch that video again, right? The whole point is they didn't want to leave the royal family, right? Harry said he'd go back in the morning, and he's clearly gutted by the whole thing. But the point he's making is that it was how his wife was treated.
Mm.
That he was left with no ultimatum. And what they were talking about was, right, her child wasn't going to have a title. When they seem to be handing them out left, right, and centre to all the other kids. And also then there's the question about the child's mixed race and his colour. So I don't know about you, but if I was a prince and my brothers had a bunch of kids and they were all getting titles and this, that, and this stuff, and then all of a sudden I was told, by the way, you're not going to get a title because your kid, is mixed race and we can't have a black child in the royal family. I know I'd be out of there. I'd be like, you can know what you can do. So there probably is a level of sour grapes in that they're pissed off over the whole thing. But I can kind of see where they're kind of coming from and how they were treated. So I can understand. So if they are angry, and they're quite rightly justified in that they were treated differently according to them. They were treated differently because of the colour of her skin and the fact that she's not bulletproof. Like Princess Diana only lasted a few years and then she couldn't handle it. But like the rest of them seem to be, they're born into it. They're able to cope. But it seems to be, it's a completely, like I was watching Russell Brand, it was very interesting going on about it, and he said the whole reason that the royal family are kept where they are is because they maintain a mystique about themselves. So they can't have someone in the family heading off. But then remember the Queen she had 2 sisters, was it?
Cousins.
2 cousins that were in a hospital for, I don't know what the term is, right? But they were kept secret because the whole mystique is, genetically, they can't have children who have, I don't know what was wrong with those kids. They weren't.
They had a disability.
So learning disabilities. Okay. So imagine I think going into an ordinary family, right? And if you go into an ordinary family, it's difficult enough as it is. But imagine going into a family that's living in the scrutiny that the royal family live in. Are you listening? Are you reading?
Yeah.
What are people saying? Okay, what's this? Where was Harry, her husband, when she needed help? I'm sure she has him up. Okay. People are probably on your side on this one, V. Call a mental health friend with their heads charity. Oh, okay. Well, the two, it's obviously so I'm interested was Hitler. Okay, well, it's clear where Laura and Dave are sit. They're obviously, well, I think they're probably a little bit further onto your side than they are to mine. But look, I don't know. Again, I think the point is we don't know these people.
No, and like that, we weren't in the room.
No,
we don't know.
Yeah,
but just from, for me, just from, like even down to saying that she never Googled Harry before. When they were going out first, like, come on.
Right, you don't know if she did.
I don't believe. No, and nobody believes that. Everyone is going, yeah, that's a lie. You know?
She didn't Google him. I've never Googled him.
You're not going out with him.
I know the minute I met him and I'd be going, how's it going? Who are you? And then he'd be like, how's it going? I'm Prince, blah, blah, blah. I'd be going, all right, very good. I'm better go and Google this guy.
Oh, well, you'd know straight away who he was.
No, I might not. Do you know the thing is, as Irish and British people, right, we're very focused in that we say the Queen, as if there's only one, and the royal family, as if there's only one. But there's a royal family in Denmark, in Holland. There's a royal family in Spain. There's sort of, where? Norway, thank you. Thanks, David. And so there's other royal families as well. I can't remember the point I was making.
Yeah, see, Mr. Ford says I'm right.
Cali Getaway, Archive is never entitled to
Archie.
Oh, Archie.
Archive is right.
And it's a typo. Thanks very much, Cali Getaway. Oh, and George versus Patent in 1917 stated who could be a prince. Oh, George V, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Anyway, I don't. All that queens and royalty, I don't believe in any of that. Anyway,
it is sad, and there's a terrible fallout that I think has now done irreparable damage to a family.
No, it has. No, it hasn't.
I think it has.
Do you know why I don't think it has?
Why?
Because look at how unpopular Charles was and everything after Diana, And now, in the morning, obviously this is kind of like causing them issues again. But when the Queen eventually does either retire or pass away, and go back to Venus or wherever she's from, right? So,
rips off her mask and goes off
yeah.
where
Well, I don't know if they.
lizard
I don't
skin.
think they can burn them because I think they can't bury those people. They pollute the water table. But
is that why you see her chasing flies whenever
And
she's on the
she-
telly like that?
I've never seen that. Have you seen that? Have you?
No.
So, yes. So when Charles, the English people who like the royals, right? Not all of them do, but they'll be back kind of going, yeah, this is fantastic, and that will all be forgotten and blown over because the pomp and ceremony, and everyone will love it, and then Charles will be the king, and it'll be amazing, and then they'll be all just then waiting for William. Is it William? William.
Yeah.
They'll be waiting for William then to become the king, and then so on and so forth. So it'll blow over, and
Well, I hope for their sake it does, and I hope it hasn't done irreparable damage.
no, of
for them.
course,
But-
the British royal family, the institute, it's lasted 1,000 years.
Mm.
They were back chopping people's heads off and stuff like that as well. And if that didn't end, let's face it this way: the current royal British family were imported from Germany. You know what I mean? So that's how much they're a part of the fabric of the United Kingdom. That when it's 1,000-year-old reign, but if you go back and you look at it, it goes back to being the Normans and Vikings and they brought in the Germans. They were the what were they called? What was the name? Saxon Coburg, I think it was Saxon Coburg, but they changed their name during World War II to Windsor. The real name is Saxon Coburg. The Germans. The Germans. I heard a thing today. It was funny actually because it was a guy talking about sidebar, right? So there was a guy, and then you can go back to Megan. Amazed at you. So, but he was talking
Why are you
about.
so
he
amazed?
was. Just let me make this point because I'll forget. So, the EU, when Ireland joined the EU in 1973, and interesting fact, Great Britain actually blocked our first application. Can you believe that?
How dare they? And they left then.
Yeah. We're best buds now.
My
But
bad,
anyway,
you're not
but they're
paying
best
me.
buds now. They just didn't want us in the party with them. But the dominant language back then was French, apparently, right? That the dominant language for the European Economic Community. It wasn't the EEC originally. It was whatever it was called, right? And French was the dominant language. But your man was making the point today. He said that the dominant language now, so all these committees meet and everything like that, and what they talk in now, right, is English. Everyone talks in English because everyone's second language over there is English, and it's just easier than having translators in the room and all that kind of stuff and everything like that. And he said the irony is that the English have left now. So it was quite funny to listen to, and you kind of go, "Oh
Sounds
yeah,
hysterical.
yeah." Well, it's just the power of that language. It's just an amazing language,
David says, then I forgive Harry for dressing as Hitler now. Dressing up as Hitler.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, he was only a young guy, and hands up who hasn't done something chronically stupid. And you have to put it into context as well. You have to put it into the context because there's a photograph. I was telling Vanessa this. There's a photograph of Harry, and what it is he's standing. You can see him, and he has his hand in this kind of the gun gesture, right? And there's this guy holding his hand. There's this black guy that he's pointing his and he's holding his hand, and it looks like he's going, "I'll, obviously shoot you in the head," or. And then what they did was they showed other photographs, and the guys are trick acting then at some kind of polo match or something like that as well. So out of context, when you see the picture, you go, "Oh, he is a courier," and then you see the picture a second later.
Doesn't it?
Context.
Mm.
Context. So let me see now. So the Royals
No,
will.
you were going to go back to
the
why you were
Royals
so
will
surprised.
The Royals will bounce back. I'll stick my name in the hat. They are helping Queenie and Philip fall off their perch. Oh, could you imagine if Prince Philip passed away with all this?
I hope he makes it to 100.
That would be.
His birthday's
He
in
doesn't
June.
look well though. He doesn't look
His
well.
birthday's in June.
He does not look well. Fair ball to him though, hanging in there. Look at how the country thought of the Queen when she was so cold. Yeah, and people got over it. And then I forget Harvey for dressing up. Okay, and he called the squaddies. He called his squaddies.
We don't know what you call them, so don't repeat that word.
What's P? Prick? Okay. Yes, I jest. What are we saying?
Why are you so surprised
At what?
at my opinion? I'm not saying
Stunned.
that the royal family are right. I'm also not saying that Meghan and Harry are right. I just think it could have been handled a lot better. I don't think there's any need for it to be.
You see, the thing for me is, as I get older, I can't, less and less of life seems real to me. I'm probably losing my grip on reality. But more and more and more of things and everything seems, I can start to see things for being contrived. So I'm sitting there and I watch it and I'm kind of going, he's a prince, she's an actress. Like, what's a prince really? Just something created. What's an actress? Oprah Winfrey. None of it's real. So I can't, so to me, it's kind of like, apart from the alien bit.
That's real.
That's real. That's definitely real. You know what I mean? And it is a conquest of America. Wait and you see. Wait and you see. They sent out David Beckham. David Beckham. He's one of them. They sent him over with Posh.
That's squeaky voice.
She sent Posh and David Beckham went over.
Pipes, we just got over to LA to play football.
That's not the way he talks.
Galaxy.
That is not the way he talks. That didn't work out. So they had to wait about 20 years and send over. Should he sent your man over? Your man you like? What's his name? Gavin and Stacey.
James Gordon.
He's another one. He's another one. So he went over as well. And look, there's the Beatles. Yeah.
Definitely that Lennon fella anyway.
The Beatles, yeah, they went over. Oh, except John. The rest were the aliens. I think John wasn't.
Paul McCartney's still clinging
It's all
on.
true. It's all true. I wouldn't lie to you. So what's going on? It's all about the money. Agree. It's all nonsense. Yeah, it's all contrived and none of it's real. And it's and if we still let chips out of newspapers, that's what it would be tomorrow. It'd be just it'd be all gone. Like, it just goes to show that people are starting to move on from COVID.
It's nice to talk about something else, though, isn't it?
No, it is, but also I was watching the British news the other day, and they're starting to talk about now. They're starting to work into the conversation the cost of COVID and the tax implications and all that kind of stuff. So they're starting to
back to recession.
Yeah, remember, so it's going to be interesting, because when we do get out of it and COVID is over and Brexit will be done and dusted at that stage as well, we'll have nothing to talk about. So the news channels are
Aaron's gone to order in now. You said chips.
The news channels are all going to talk down. Yeah, are all going to close down. Good man, Aaron.
We've
chips.
Just had our dinner, Aaron, so we're not hungry.
Yeah, and it's repeating on me.
Is it?
Yeah.
You said earlier you had
I had heartburn, on the way home.
Have some of my Gaviscon if you want.
I don't want your Gaviscon. So what was your thing I was going to say there? That reminded me of something.
Chips?
No. So, does anyone want to talk about anything? So, we've 2 likes. It's important that you like the channel more.
Did you really get loads of unsubs?
Yeah, loads of people unsubbed because of last week.
Because of your rant?
Not loads, 5 maybe. I had a net gain, but I actually lost 5. So,
The rugby? No, we won't talk about the rugby either.
Just not sports people. I love watching it. See, it's going to go behind the paywall, apparently. That's very bad. The 6 and 8, if that happens, ouch. But they're saying it's good for the sport, but it doesn't seem right to put it behind a paywall. I mean, it's been on the telly my whole life anyway, and for it to go behind a paywall. But people will pay. People will pay and watch it,
I read that for a second there, and Laura said, I'd love a single Aaron. But whatever way I read it, I thought she was asking Aaron, was he single?
I'd love a single Aaron. Maybe she meant she'd love a single Aaron.
Oh.
Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? Except
ooh la la.
Except
Dee wouldn't be too happy.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't be happy.
No.
She wouldn't be happy. So does anyone want to talk about anything? Anyone have any topics?
Well, no,
we're wrapping up soon now. There's Gogglebox is on, is it? And everyone. So last week I got caught off guard with Gogglebox, and everyone giving out to me. Not giving out to me, but
why'd you get caught off guard with Gogglebox?
Because everyone was bailing to go and watch Gogglebox while I was full on ranting. And you weren't even paying attention anyway.
No, I'd given up on you.
So go on, you talk about something for the last couple of minutes.
Dee said, take me. You and the camper vans, is it? Leave Charlie.
Good one, Aaron. That's a good one. What do you want to talk about then? Go on, I'll let you free. Just free. Whatever you want to talk about. Oh, you were asking me why was I surprised? I think I answered that, didn't I?
Yeah, answer that. Thanks.
Yeah, okay. All right. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh.
What?
Pierce leaving GMB.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's and
do you know what? I was watching E! News this morning, I think it was, or was it yesterday morning? It was either this morning or yesterday morning, I can't remember when it was.
Yeah. And
they actually made a very good point that maybe has another opportunity, and he saw this as an opportunity to just get out of a contract that he was in. And I was going,
it's too obvious to say that. But there is a new news channel starting up in the UK. And the guy that's starting it up, I can't think of his name, but I used to like watching him I think it was, he used to present on the BBC or something like that. Interesting kind of guy. But they're saying they're starting up it's GB News or something like that it's called.
See, there's a meme though, and it's some blonde girl, I can't think of her name. She's an actress, and it's Piers Morgan. It's his picture superimposed onto some actor's face. And she's going, so tell me what happened. And he says, I didn't like the situation, so I got up and left. And then she goes, so you agree with me, it is okay to get up and leave if you're not happy? Because he was given out saying that Meghan shouldn't have left, and she's, like, just because you don't agree with what's going on, or you're
he's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I
thought that was very funny.
Yeah, he's a hypocrite. Andrew Neil, I like Andrew Neil.
Who's Andrew Neil?
He's the guy that's setting up GB News, which is interesting. But it's sort of, they're already making that GB News out to be, I think they're trying to make it out to be sort of right wing and anti-left, which is right wing, obviously.
I don't know who Andrew Neil is.
Andrew Neil, like him, yeah. I know he's good. I used to watch him. Yeah, he's good. He falls into that kind of Jeremy Paxman kind of straight shooting kind
not
of
Jeremy
stuff.
Kyle, no.
No, not Jeremy Kyle. Paxman's very good on University Challenge. I love that. Go on anyway. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, we may as well just wrap it up now.
All right then.
Because we only have a few minutes, so we can say our goodbyes, kiss everyone at the door.
Well, I'm going to put everyone on notice that next week I am not talking. You are talking for an hour.
Happy Paddy's Day, everyone.
Bannock di le Féile Pádraig. My Irish lessons, I'm still doing them.
August. Happy Mother's Day for Sunday for all those mothers out there.
Happy Mother's Day. You're not my mother.
Do you want to bet?
Good reporter. Yeah. So that's it then, is it? So it's like a very quiet send off. Usually we're ranting and raving. The weather is very bad, isn't it?
I think you find usually you're ranting and raving. Yeah. I have school in the morning, so that's where my head is.
Okay. Right then. So then we will close it down then. We'll finish early then. We'll give everyone a half day. So
you let them
go
4 minutes earlier.
We'll see you. Everyone. See you, David Icke. See you. Yeah, no sign of Philippe the Flop.
No, we can change the name to David Icke. What do people think of Christian's haircut? Show them.
Right, so we're gonna go. Thanks for coming. Is that supposed to be rude? Is it? Is that him being rude again? Is it?
Probably.
What?
David, I'm gonna block you, David.
I'm
gonna block him.
I like David's vibes.
No, Dad, because when you said oh yeah, no one's
What are you saying? You wish David Morrison was your dad? Is that what you're saying?
No, because you were like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna talk next week.
I'm not.
V is, and then me and Aaron said, yeah, right. Aaron said.
David said if you shave off your hair, he'll give you a tenner.
More than that, like this is like.
Make it 50 and I'll do it. When he's asleep.
Well, look, you've got too much hair, and he's balding anyway, so it'd make it easier. So that's like the weirdest thing. He's got too much hair, but he's balding. But we can do it.
Hi, Mark. Yes, we are all good. Thank you. We're about to leave.
Wait, can we like snip off Dad's beard, and each little snip we do, you have to give us a $5.
No. Anyway.
Right, we're gonna go.
Let's go.
We're gonna go. So
guys, have a lovely week, and we'll see you all next week when Jason's gonna be quiet. Apparently.
Slán August Bannock. So goodbye. Oh.
Ihwa.
Okay, I'm gonna hit end now. So stop texting. Bye.
Bye.
Live next week, shave for charity. I don't think so.
Shave my
Well,
legs.
if you give us a lot of money and
I've
that
hit-
we donate it to us, we might.
Right, I'm gonna go.
Just buy a wig.
Say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
You want to end? Yes. I think. All right.